Sally Morgan, one of UCSC's project managers, gave us a tour of their latest focus, the barn restoration project and its surrounding historical buildings. Morgan explained that the UC campus once served as a limestone quarry, housing blacksmiths, laborers, and even a railroad. At the center of this historical site was the barn.
A lot of this damage happened just within the last year or two. The barn had started to deteriorate because of weather and losing its roof and insect damage, and then a storm came through and took off a big part of the roof. So it's really nearing the end of its life.
The deterioration of the barn, attention has been brought to restoring the barn to its original condition.
The Cowell Works is trying to raise money privately to help to save this barn. The very first step is to raise money to cover the documentation, the Historic American Building Survey record of the barn. That documentation consists of as-built drawings of the entire frame of the barn, and then photographs using large-scale photography, and then also very detailed archival research and architectural description of the barn. That process alone is probably about $25,000 worth of work. So the National Trust for Historic Preservation has given the Friends of the Cowell Works $4,000 toward that piece of the work, and the campus has matched that with another $4,000. Now we're trying to raise the rest of the money privately, either from foundations or through private sponsors who might be interested in the project.
Once the barn is reconstructed, there are several possibilities for its uses on campus.
The planning process that the university does to figure that out. We've had some great ideas about how the barn might be used. One is as a visitor center for the campus. Another possibility is as an entryway feature for the farm for CASFS, because they really need a little more visible presence near the entry to the campus. So it might be a good facility for them where they could have a year-round store, have their farm distributions here year-round, which would be a great possible use for the center.
Yeah.
Center for Agroecology and Sustainable Food Systems, and that's the formal name of the farm, the campus farm. And their whole program is teaching organic farming, teaching organic farmers, teaching students to be organic farmers. And their programs call for a lot of public outreach and distribution of organic produce. And so we feel like this would be a great facility for them.
But before plans can be set into motion, a stronger donation effort will be needed.
We've just really started on the fundraising aspect. So we have the initial grant for the documentation, toward the documentation. The campus has matched that little initial grant, and now we're just in the process of starting to solicit private donors for more donations.
Okay.
We're also soliciting small donations just from the public and from members of the Friends of the Limeworks to help this project along. Once we've done the documentation, which will enable us to recreate the barn exactly the way it is now, or as the way it was before it deteriorated, then the next step will be to figure out how we would like to use the barn once it's reconstructed, and then to carry out the reconstruction process. And that effort is much more expensive and will call for probably some large grants or for some large private donations.